Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou, and thank you for trusting your intuition and coming here right now to choose a stack of cards to understand the message your subconscious has for you right now. And before you choose, let's go over how you choose. You just go with your very first instinct. You don't overthink it. Whatever your first instinct says, that's the stack that you're drawn to. That's the stack that your subconscious wants you to choose. Now, if you want more information about working with your intuition, your subconscious, or any other metaphysical science, I invite you to subscribe to my monthly online magazine, Astrologic, which you can find at astrologicmagazine.com. If you enjoy my episodes here about tarot and dreams and my meta minutes, then I know you'll love this magazine full of not only my articles, but many other contributions from the brightest stars in astrology, tarot, and other metaphysical sciences. All right, did that give you time to choose your stack of cards? Let's begin. Did you choose Vesta, my warrior priestess, or does today's message for you lie underneath this beautiful shell, which was fossilized millions of years ago? Or did you choose this amazing quartz obelisk that has the most fantastic power associated with it? Whatever you chose, your message has your subconscious has a message for you. Boy, it really wants to come out today. So let's begin. We'll start with Vesta, my warrior priestess, and we will scoot her over here on my Chartre Labyrinth and take a look at the first card, which is your overview energy, which means this is what you're resonating with from a broad standpoint right now. This is something that you'll immediately recognize, whether it's on a grand scale or maybe something more subtle, but nevertheless, you're going to recognize it. So let's tune in and see what it is. What a fabulous way for you to begin today, because you have the Six of Discs, and it's called success. Of course, success just resonates with discs is physical. It means that this is something tangible in your life that you're working with. And success, of course, just resonates with that energy of things are going right for you. So from a very broad standpoint, you're feeling this successful place in your life right now, and it feels really good for you. But again, this is from a broad standpoint, and we always tune in with our challenge card as the second card that we look at. And that's because even though everything is going really well at the moment for you with this Six of Discs card, there's something that is challenging you, that's working in tandem, working with this success card. So let's tune in and see what that is. Okay. This makes a lot of sense. It's the Eight of Swords. This is called interference here in the Thoth deck. And what this means is that you have a choice to make. There's something interfering with this feeling of success that you're experiencing right now. It's something that is putting you in the position of having to make a decision. And it's not something insurmountable. This is really just a choice. And as you can see, you have this amazing power of these swords cards here, but then the two long swords, but then you have these six other swords coming through that are really blocking this energy of these two dynamic swords. This is, swords resonate with our intellect, with our thinking. And as I mentioned, the Discs card is all about something manifesting in the physical with us. So this is very clearly saying you have a choice to make. And it's something that is hindering this feeling of success that you have. So this could be related to a job. It could be really related to your residence, where you're living, something that's in a very real physical form. So we're going to take a look at your course of action called for card to see how to address this and clear up this energy of needing to make a decision. And you have the Fabulous Universe card coming up here. It's the highest of the major arcana. And what this is saying is that it's time for you to wrap things up. There's a cycle that's ready to complete so that you may begin a second cycle, another cycle, the next one that's coming. And this is at a very high level. So I want you to understand that this is something that with the discs card, with the swords card here, this is something very present in your life, and I'm sure you know what it is, that you are having trouble making a choice with. So as we look at all three of these cards together, we see what's happening here. You are experiencing success, but maybe it was something unexpected. Maybe it's something that really has put you in a tangle about how to adapt to. Maybe it's a move. Maybe you have a job promotion and now you're in the position of needing to move and you're not really sure if you want to do that. But your course of action called for is saying, yes, you need to let this energy continue to flow, this success energy. Accept this change of whatever it is that's happening in your life, that the choice you make needs to embrace this wonderful cycle of taking a new step, because here it is for you. And you know, we can be hindered by not wanting to move forward sometimes because we get very comfortable in the familiar, and taking a step outside of the familiar is a little scary to us. And that's what this energetically feels like to me that's happening here. And so you need to take that step. You know, here we have this beautiful universe card, and she's just floating. If you look, she really is taking the next step. She has her foot poised to take this next step. That's exactly where you are right now. It's going to move you into some new, brilliant energy. And so, of those choices that you have to make, and your challenge card here, that Eight of Swords, take it. You know, take it. I'm just advising you, suggesting to you that you take it, because whatever is on the other side is going to be very dynamic and successful for you. That energy of that Six of Discs energy is going to continue for you. So from a dreaming standpoint, being that you're at this place where you're needing to make a decision, symbolically, I would think that you're at a crossroads, that you're either in a car or on foot, and that you have come to a place where you need to go right or left, or perhaps the road ahead is blocked and there are paths that you need to take. Something very symbolic like this is probably what you're dreaming about right now, and this represents obviously your path forward, and that there's a choice to be made, a decision to be made, and you're really at a stalemate about how to do this. Obviously, when you make this choice, that dream is going to disappear because you've solved it. Your subconscious is relating to you that, yes, here you are in this position. And then, of course, the tarot, which just echoes and validates our subconscious energy, is saying, yeah, you're at this place where you do need to make this choice. And once you do, it's going to help you and take you further if you make the choice of being brave and moving forward with what you probably intuitively know is the successful route to take. But it also probably means leaving something comfortable, something familiar. And so I understand that. But in these moments, we really have to recognize where we want to go from this point in our lives. And it's always forward. So I encourage you to do that as you look at these cards and think about the choice you have to make. All right, let's take a look at the second stack of cards underneath this amazing fossilized shell. The first card we're going to look at is your overview card, your energy from a broad standpoint. You'll know what this is. You'll understand what this is once we take a look at it. So you have the Nine of Wands. It's called Strength in the Thoth deck. And this is just saying, you know, you're feeling quite sure of yourself right now. And it could be just in general, or it could be something specific, but it's just a lovely broad energy of feeling strength within yourself. You know, and Wands represents our spiritual side, the character side of ourselves, and so This is a wonderful energy to have right now. And look at the sun that you have up here. This is just that dynamic energy that's resonating within you. This is feeling solid and lovely. But of course, there is a challenge card. So we're going to take a look at that and see what else is going on in your life that's challenging this. You have the Lovers. So, of course, the Lovers can represent a partnership with someone else. It can represent any sort of relationship, any sort of alignment with someone else. It could be a partner, a spouse, but it could also be a friendship, a sibling relationship. And then it could also be the alignment, the partnership that you have within yourself, the alignment that brings two aspects of yourself together. And that's always a really important thing to consider. If you don't know immediately what this is regarding someone else, then it's probably something relating within you that feels out of alignment. So even though you have this Nine of Wands strength, there's that feels really good with you, there's something that feels out of alignment, either within yourself or with a partnership. So let's dive a little bit deeper to see what is happening in your course of action called for and understand a little bit deeper what's going on. So you have the Seven of Discs. It's called Failure here in this deck. And this is a fear of failure. It doesn't mean that it is absolutely manifest as failure, but this is definitely one of those at the edge sort of energies that it could have already come to pass, that something has fallen through. And actually that is what it feels like to me. And that makes sense with the other two cards. And so that's how I am going to read this for you right now. Of course, there's an alternative way to look at this, but energetically I feel like this is you going through a relationship that has either fallen through or is on the precipice of doing so, and you are staying very steady. You're really trying to work through this energy, but it's feeling like it's not feeling good. You're feeling like you have failed at a relationship, but your course of action called for here is saying, don't feel like you have failed completely. This is saying, believe that there is something beyond this, right? Because as you look at the cards and you see Strength here with the glowing sun, and you see the Lovers here with the partnership as your challenge energy, you also have to recognize that what is possible with all of this is the fact that, yes, you can move through any sort of failure that you're feeling, any sort of absolute giving up. Even if the relationship is over, you have to address it from the standpoint of what's next in your life, because there's always something next. There's always a way to go forward from here and to address it in a positive way. And that's what this course of action called for card is saying to you, is that yes, you need to look at this from that point of view and move forward. If it is completely over, whatever this is, then you need to, you have to move on and do it in a very positive way. This energetically is saying it's going to be the best route for you. If this is not an external relationship, if this is talking about something internal within you personally, that that you're of two minds of something, or just do not feel aligned within yourself, don't give up on striving to achieve this alignment within yourself. There is always a way forward, and that is the very clear message that's here if you chose this stack of cards. And that is, there is always a way to address this situation and to turn it into a positive a positive scenario. You must do this. Now, from a dreaming standpoint, being that this feels like something has come apart, I would expect that you're in a house that is being is under attack some way, either by natural forces like a storm or something else is, maybe room to room you're walking or running, and the rooms are not are not joined or being broken apart or something. The rooms represent aspects of your mind, and this is showing that you are not together in this way. And your subconscious is telling you this. It's telling you it's necessary for you to bring this alignment together within yourself. And this speaks directly to whether or not this alignment that we're seeing here in the cards is representative of you alone, or whether it's representative of you in a relationship with someone else. This is time to come together and find that alignment. And once you do, the dream will go away, and you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to be able to begin a new road in a new way that's going to turn out good for you. I'm sure it will. All right, let's take a look at the third stack of cards. We will move the obelisk over and take a look at the first card, which is your overview energy. Your energy from a broad standpoint right now. So let's see what's going on. How lovely. You have the Eight of Cups, prudence. This is such a wonderful card because, what it represents, prudence, of course, is it represents cautious, but that seems rather kind of a wary term, right? Being prudent about something means you don't put yourself out there, right? So this word is a rather old-fashioned word that was created when this deck was created a long time ago, almost 100 years ago. Well, yeah, 100 years ago. And so what this is resonating with is energy that's talking about planting a seed, nurturing it, allowing it to grow, to bloom and to bear fruit. That's what this Eight of Cups is talking about. And that's where you are right now, is that you're feeling this wonderful energy of and satisfaction. Yeah, it feels like satisfaction of the fact that you have planted some sort of seed. And of course, I'm being metaphorical here. Or it could be literal. You could be out gardening right now, even though it's December. I suppose you could be planting, winter lettuce, winter wheat. I don't know. And but I'm thinking this is figurative in something that you have planted and that you're now allowing and nurturing and allowing to grow. So good for you. How nice. This is the patience involved with this is really good for us, because today we expect a lot of instant things, and so to have this patience is being prudent, right? But of course there's a challenge card here for you that's involved with this energy, so let's take a look at it and see what it is. Love it. It's the Priestess. Of course, she represents energy that speaks of things below the surface. This speaks of intuition, embracing your intuition and understanding that there's a subtext here that needs addressing. And that is your challenge. So while you've planted this amazing seed into a project that you're allowing to grow and that you're being patient as you expect it to grow with your careful nurturing, here's your challenge energy saying, pay attention to what is going on below the surface, because something is. That's what this energy is talking about here. So what is it? Well, let's look at the third card, your course of action called for, to see what it is. Well, okay. So interesting. This is the Aeon. Judgment in other decks is what this is called. The Aeon here speaks of embracing something new, moving into very new energy, and being very self-critical about it. That means taking a step back from being too close to a situation and looking at it from an objective standpoint and being very honest with yourself about what you're seeing as a result of taking this, having this objective point of view. So as this relates to the other two cards here, with something that you have planted that you are growing and expecting to mature into something that is going to yield great reward for you, you have the counsel, you have the advice of knowing that there is something else that you need to pay attention to here that's deeper, and that your course of action called for is to recognize that you need to take this step back and look at it from a very objective viewpoint. And so, discs, of course, which is what the Prudence card is, speaks of our physical world, speaks of things that we're doing with our jobs, with our homes, and with our finances and so forth. So maybe you have planted, actually it feels like something financial, got that ping, and so maybe you have made an investment that you are going to be very patient with and feel like, yes, I know this isn't going to happen immediately, but I'm going to allow it to take the time necessary to come to fruition. Well, here's what is going on. You need to look a little bit deeper into this matter, because there's something there that needs your attention, that you need to pay attention to. And therefore, the action that you take is step back and look at it with that critical eye of yours, and not sway yourself with any sort of, trying to make yourself feel better by saying, oh no, it's really all right. No, I'm telling you, this is saying you need to look at this very objectively, very critically, and understand that there is something here that needs your attention. So, from a dreaming standpoint, being that we have the Priestess and the Aeon here, this is some dynamic energy that's happening that speaks of our dreaming mind. And so what I would expect that you're looking at here, dealing with real life, is that you're in water somehow, because water represents conscious life experience. And so this could mean that somehow in the water you're finding something that is feeling out of place. What could that be? I don't know. It could be a million things, and you are confused by this. So your subconscious mind is telling you that there's something that's off that you need to dive deeper with in your conscious life. And so understand that our dreaming mind is always trying to benefit us and communicate with us. And the only way it can do that is with these symbols. And decoding the symbols is the way to understand what the narrative is in our dreams. And I'm telling you, you are dreaming about water more than likely, and having something out of place in the water that's giving you the clue that you need to look deeper into this. And so once you do that, you're going to gain a lot of information, and this should help you tremendously with this wonderful Prudence card that you've chosen, because it has the potential to really bear fruit if you look deeper into what's going on behind the scenes. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm always here to help you, and my mission is to serve you by helping you understand how to tune into your subconscious mind, not only through the tarot, but also through your dreams. Thank you so much for joining me.